Hey there my friends, Tommy G here, and welcome to the presentation of the 3 website tips that generate more leads without any change in ad spend. That's right, we can improve your conversions simply by having the right infrastructure. Now, why does infrastructure matter? Well, David Olivier, the advertising tycoon, founder of Olivier Mather, and known as the father of advertising, says that advertising people who ignore research are as dangerous as the generals who ignore decodes of enemy signals. All right, meaning you can have all the answers to your problems, but if you ignore this one thing that is research, you're still losing out to the competition, because having the right infrastructure is what allows you to take the data from your advertising, your efforts, by everything that you're doing, and be able to take that data, take the research, and make results from it. Okay, because what they say is if you don't invest in infrastructure in the front end, you're going to be paying for it in the back end. So that's why we're going to be going through 3 tips, starting with super platform infrastructure, so that if you do these 3 things with your website, you're going to be setting yourselves up for long-term success. Meaning, as your traffic increases, as your conversions increases, you're going to be able to scale with your website and not have to constantly be wondering why things aren't working. All right. So number 1, super platform infrastructure is being able to put the free resources that you have into your websites. I'm talking about Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and the Facebook Pixel to start with. These are all free tools that these big mega billion-dollar corporations provide you to give you data. Okay, now they're pretty easy to do. If you're not really sure, maybe right now you have a marketing team or you have a personnel that's managing your website, and you might think that your pixel is set up, and you can double check right now by going to the the Chrome App Store, and if you search for Facebook Pixel Helper, you're going to see a little icon like this, that little blue dot, that will let you see if it's a green dot, then that means yes, your pixel is installed the right way. But more importantly, also, you want to make sure it's the right pixel. Now, that will be for another time, but this is how you can at least check if you are currently covering the data. For Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics, they have their what's called the Tag Assistant in the Chrome store that you can download. Same thing, it will be a little on your browser, so this is a desktop type check, and then you'll be able to see that your Google Analytics, Tag Manager, all that stuff, if it's set up and running properly. All right, now why is this so important to have on your website? Well, these little pieces of code, you can think of them as doormen. All right, think of it just like a brick and mortar business, right? Your website is brick and mortar on the digital landscape, right? Well, these little pieces of code and on your website are like doormen that are reporting on how long people are staying on your website. Where are they clicking? How old are they? What percentage is male versus female? What device are they coming in? All right. How many people bought a certain product? How many people didn't buy? And so much more. With this kind of information and data, you can adjust your marketing and your efforts to finely tune exactly where it is that the leaks in the buckets are. Okay. So the big takeaway here is that you want to have this analytical data that will allow you to hyper target and sub-segment your ideal audience to reduce advertising costs while increasing your message to the market match. Okay. So once we have our infrastructure set up and we know that we can track all the data and all the traffic that are coming, how can we get better conversions? That's where we go into tip number 2, where make music, not noise. Okay. The truth is, nobody cares about your company's story. What most people do when they come up with their website, they want to design the whole site to make their company look super great, and that's not what you want to do. There's a certain place for that. Fancy graphics and moving objects are just annoying and get in the way whenever your customer is looking for a fast and easy solution. It's all just a bunch of noise to the consumer. What people care about most is one thing: a quick and easy solution to the problem that they're searching for. Okay? And a website layout needs to follow a proper wireframe for your company's big idea. So if you follow this wireframe I'm about to give you, you can give it to I want you to take it and then evaluate your current website as it stands, if it fits this wireframe. And if so, good for you. If not, then maybe you want to rethink what your message to the market is, okay? Because if you're not following this wireframe, you're basically just banging pots and pans to your customers, okay? Your message is not resonating with them because you're not giving them what they want. If you're banging pots and pans, people run away fast. But if you're singing their favorite song, they're going to stick around and they're going to actually resonate and magnetically get attracted to you because they love what it is that you're putting out. All right. And that's what will capture attention, pique interest, create desire, and trigger an action. All right. All within seconds of hitting your website. So here are the elements of a website wireframe. Number one, the lander. You want to make sure that when somebody lands on your website, they know exactly what it is that you do, who you do it for, and why it matters to them, okay? So when they land on there, you want to be able to stick out what is the unique benefit, all right? What is the result of the result? You hear a lot of times people talk about a guy goes to the store to buy a drill. He really doesn't want the drill. He wants the hole that the drill creates, all right? What is your hole, all right? That's what you want to be thinking about and putting front and center. Next thing, the plan. How do you get it, all right? If that's starting with the end result or the unique benefit, what is the method that you're going to be able to get me there, all right? Why is it that you could get me there faster, easier, and more affordable than the competition? So lay out the plan that you have to get people results. Next, you want to make sure that you have some kind of social influence or authority piece. These can be case studies or testimonials, something that shows that you have happy customers, that they're going to be okay. You want to give people reassurance that they're in the right spot. The next thing, you want to expand, all right, on what it is that you offer and how to get it. When you're starting off with the grunt test, it's your elevator pitch, and then that piques enough interest so that they stick around, and then you can expand exactly how it is that you do all the bold claims that you say that you can do for them. The last part, or near the end, you want to have your pricing or booking options. Basically, you want to limit the amount of decisions they have to make and show them how can they do business with you right now. That might be booking an appointment, it might be buying a product, or it might be trading their email for a piece of value. All the other stuff is what we consider the jargon tab. These are the other tabs and the rest of your website, like your About Us page, frequently asked questions, contact, login, support, location, stuff like that. These are all things that, yes, they're needed for your website. Yes, they'll influence and impact the way that your website is found online. But as far as for your home screen, this is the website wireframe that you want to follow to resonate and make music to your customers, not bang pots and pans and scare them away. So that leads us into tip number 3. If we've gotten our infrastructure set up, we're resonating with them with the right kind of messaging, we want to invite them, all right, to come deeper with this, and that's making an offer. Think of this as you've had that conversation, two people have met, they've struck up a great conversation, they're really kind of resonating with each other, and they're kind of thinking like, hey, I might want to see this person more often. Well, if nobody says like, hey, can I call you, can we go on a date? If nobody makes that approach, then nothing's going to happen. So that's kind of what this part is. You want to make sure your website's offering that next level of service. So don't get lost in a bunch of woo-woo metrics that are like how many likes you get or comments or shares or things like that, because at the end of the day, that's not really going to put money in your bank, all right? You still got payroll, rent, utilities, supplies, marketing costs, and other things that are due. So we want to make sure that we have a straight path to profits. And this is how you do that. When you're making an offer, you first have people that are paying with their attention, all right? After they're paying with their attention, they're going to pay with their email or an appointment. That's paying with their personal time, all right? Then, after they're paying with their time on that appointment or consuming the content that you have, they're going to start paying with their money, because now you've gotten their attention, you've elevated the conversation via getting an email opt-in or an appointment booked. Now you got some one-on-one time to present your services, whether it's a consult or a sales video that comes up. Then it's finally time to make that offer to exchange value for dollars, all right? If you follow those 4 steps, you're going to be profitable. But the most important thing is to make it clear and obvious how to take that next step. A lot of businesses just focus on the website and make it as attention-getting as possible, but they're offer is buried. This is a blow up of a website map that we did for a client. And without getting into too much details, they had so many exits. You can see on the outside of here, there was not one clear next step offer. Every offer, we counted 6 different offers, and every offer had 2 or 3 different other steps they could take. Basically, it confused the hell out of the patient, and they were getting traffic but no conversions. All right, that might be the same thing that you might be having. If you're getting visitors to your website but you're not getting any conversions, it could be that you're confusing them and not making it clear and simple how to take that next step with your business. Some of the simple things that you can do is have a great offer or lead magnet where you exchange some kind of contact information for a piece of value. All right, so here's 4 quick ways to create a lead magnet. Number 1, do a checklist. All right, this is a short 3 to 5 pages that are easily consumed. It's you can basically take your frequently asked questions and bottle it into an informative checklist for quick answers to common objections. Okay. Another option is use the good neighbor approach, meaning give out the damaging admissions of the industries. A title of it might be 7 things your competition doesn't want you to know about XYZ topic. Okay, great proven framework right there for lead generation. It's curiosity driven, and there's a benefit because people are curious to know what it is that they know. The next thing is the life hacks list. This is a collection of informative advice. So it might be something 10 tips for the outcome that you want. It might be along the lines of 10 tips to reduce back pain, 10 tips to reduce, or 10 ways to have less shoulder pain, 10 ways to, replace your whatever, okay? Next thing is a sneaky sales pitch. This is where you interview, all right, yourself, or you have somebody interview you if you're the expertise, and you get to ask them a bunch of questions about what are the common things, and it's all things related to the results that they want and the things that they want to avoid. And you can title it simply that: how to get desired result without the thing you want to avoid. And during this interview, it's actually doubles as like a sales pitch because you're answering all the common questions that you get as a provider, but you're just putting it in a way that can constantly get consumed. And so you have that clear call to action in it to let them know what the next step is in the offer. Now, if you might think that this is really hard to create this stuff, it's not. You can get this stuff done in one weekend. And here's a quick way to do it. You can speak all the content into a voice recorder app on your phone. You can send it to Timmy.com and they'll transcribe it for you. Then you can hire somebody on Upwork to edit it. You can hire somebody on Fiverr to design it. You can use ClickFunnels to link it. And then you can start collecting emails with something like GetResponse or Drip. There's tons of different ways that you can do this, but we actually have an option that will allow you to do all this at only one location, and that is our EverGenius platform. And if you want to learn more about that, we'll have it details that would eliminate all these steps in there, because we do offer this as a one-stop service inside of our offer map. So let's recap how we can get the best and highest use out of our website. Number 1, we want super platform infrastructure. We don't want to ignore data. We want to track every part of the interaction that people have with our website, because it can provide us valuable data to reduce costs on advertisement, build custom audiences, and the simple way to start doing that is to install the Facebook Pixel, Google Analytics, and the rest, and build out all the triggers to make sure that everything's being tracked right. Number 2, this is a big one: make music, not noise. Speak directly to your visitors' needs, wants, and desires to capture their attention and pull them in, just like the irresistibility of their favorite jam. Then use the 7 elements of a website wireframe to map out your music to help pull them in. Now, once they're pulled in, you gotta make an offer, and that's tip number 3. You can't bank clicks. Make offers for their email to capture their info. Now we're able to follow up with them. And if you make offers for products, you can turn that into cash. So those are the 3 tips to generate more leads without any change in ad spend, to increase your conversions from the traffic that you're getting. But if you're at this point and you're saying, oh crap, I've used this and I'm starting to get leads, how do I turn these leads into customers? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about next, and what we learned from Jerry Seinfeld that taught us about automated, lucrative follow-up systems. So if you want to check out that video, stick around and